Good morning. Happy Thursday, everybody. Yes, we're going to get started here in about 5 minutes, maybe a little bit less. And for this practice, you're going to need a chair. You're going to need a belt. I think that might be it. We're going to be working with some balance today. So depending on your balance, you might want to set up so that you have a wall behind you or near you. Otherwise, for sure, have your chair. And yeah, that's the plan for today. We're going to really be focusing on stretching out the legs today, but legs and hips. But we're also going to be incorporating some balancing poses because I feel like I haven't been doing that in the last couple weeks. So let's bring out some balancing poses again. So yes, make sure you have your chair and your belts. Otherwise, everything else is sort of optional. And we'll get started here. I have that it's about 10:28 on my phone. So we'll start at about 10:32, 10:33. So you have a few minutes to get everything set up. Oh, I just saw a big drop in the numbers. A bunch of people just left. They don't want to do balance today. We'll see if they come back. Hope everyone is still doing well. I know that they opened a bunch of stuff today, and I'm interested. I'm personally not rushing out to patios or to get my hair done yet, but I know lots of people are. But it's not looking like they'll be opening in-person fitness stuff until probably at least June, probably maybe not even till July. So we're stuck with the virtual. And just a reminder, if you are into Zumba, tomorrow I am doing collaborating with a young lady named Hazel, who is a Zumba instructor, and she's doing a Zumba class for 45 minutes, and then I'm following her with a 45-minute yoga stretch class. So it should be fun. If you want to get moving, it's tomorrow evening, starting at 7. So yeah. You have to register through Hazel because she's actually hosting it. I'm just coming on as a guest. All right, we're going to get started here in about 2 minutes. So you'll need a chair. If you missed that, you'll need a chair today and a yoga belt, yoga strap. But we are working with some balance today. So if you want to set up near a wall to have that extra stability, feel free. I'm a little bit sleepy today because I woke up very early for some reason and couldn't fall back to sleep. So I kind of wanted to do a restorative class just because I feel a bit lazy. But I'm pushing through with a standing class today. Okay, 1 minute to get your stuff together, and then we're going to start. So again, you for sure will need a chair today, and you'll need a strap, a yoga belt, yoga strap for the practice. And I'm going to head to my mat. You can do the same, and let's get started. Oh, I should make sure you can see me okay. Yep, look great. Better. Okay. Coming to find a nice, comfortable seated position, however you feel most comfortable. Sitting with a nice tall spine and letting the eyes close or softening the gaze toward the floor. Starting to turn your attention inward. Tuning into the body. Just noticing how you're feeling this morning. As you check in with the body, if you come across any tight areas, any tense areas, just do what you can to soften and relax into those tight spots. Let your shoulders just roll back and down away from your ears. Relax through the face and jaw. And let your belly be soft so that it can move freely as you breathe. Feeling the breath as it moves through the body. Let's take one more deep breath here. And then just blinking the eyes open. Coming to lay down on your back, having your belt nearby. Let's get those legs stretched out. Starting with the knees bent and the feet on the floor. Just pausing here, allowing the back to rest into the floor, into the mat. And then let's take those feet, wiggle them wide distance apart. Starting to windshield wiper the legs, rocking the knees side to side, nice and slow. Bringing the knees back to center. Feet might step in closer together again. Hugging in your right knee. Circling out your right ankle. Bringing those circles into the hip area as you circle the knee around a few times. One direction and then the other. Bring the knee back to center and stretch your left leg out along the floor, reaching out through that left heel. Pause here. Keep the right hand on your right shin. Left hand can come down to the floor. Flex through your right ankle, your right heel, and then just open your bent right knee out to the right. Keep the left leg straight, extending through the left heel. Just feel this through the inner hip, maybe the outer hip a little bit, the inner thigh. Inhale the knee back up to center. We'll loop the belt around the sole of the foot, the right foot, and stretch it up toward the ceiling. Stretching out that hamstring. Making sure that belt is closer up to the toes so that you get the good stretch. Your heel can really reach up toward the ceiling. Make sure that left leg doesn't relax completely. Keep it engaged. Exhale to release. Let the foot come down out of the belt. Bend your knees, bring your feet onto the floor, and just pause for a breath. Other side, hugging that left knee in toward the belly, toward the chest. Circling out the left ankle. Circling through that hip as you take the knee around. Making sure to go in both directions. Bring the knee back into center, still giving it that hug. Stretch the right leg out along the floor, reaching out through the right heel. Left hand stays on the left shin, right hand can come down to the floor. Flex through that left ankle and open the left knee out to the left, keeping it bent. Breathe. Inhale that knee back to center. Loop the belt around the sole of the foot and stretch it up to the ceiling. Left foot reaches up, right leg reaches out, still activating that right leg on the floor. Exhale to release. Belts can move off to the side. Bend both of your knees. Pause. Let's roll to our right side. Bring yourself up to your tabletop position for Captain Cow. Pause for a moment. Feel the spine nice and long. Deep inhale. Exhale to round into cat spine. Press your back up toward the ceiling. Tailbone lengthens. Gaze shifts toward the thigh. Inhale into cow spine, arching the back, reaching the tailbone up, looking up. Keep going. Move with your breath at your pace. Bring the spine back to a neutral position. Getting ready to lift up into downward dog. Walk the hands so the wrists are slightly ahead of the shoulders. Make sure the fingers are spread. Feet are hip distance apart. Curl the toes, lift up and back. Heels are reaching toward the floor, even if they don't touch. Hips are stretching up tall, spine is long. Inhale to step or walk your feet forward toward the hands. Feet come hip distance apart, slight bend in the knees, coming into a ragdoll, reaching for opposite elbows or letting the arms hang. Neck is soft. Slowly uncurling, coming up to standing. Okay. You can move, if you have a blanket or towel on your mat, you can move that out of the way and turn to face your chair seat. Coming into Hasta Padangusthasana, the standing variation of our leg stretch we were just working with. So standing in Tadasana with the feet flat on the floor, toes pointing straight ahead. Just pause here. Bring the hands to the hips. Shift the weight into your left foot and reach that right heel up onto your chair seat. You want to reach up through those right toes so the right foot is flexed. You want your two hips to stay lined up, so you might need to drop down into that right hip a little bit. Hug the belly toward the spine. Let the tailbone lengthen down, standing nice and tall. As you inhale, sweep those arms up. Balancing, breathing here. Exhale to release. Release the arms. Step your right foot down. Pause. Other side. Shift the weight into your right foot. Lift the left heel up onto the chair seat. Find those balanced hips. Standing tall. Inhale to extend through the arms, reaching all the way up through the sides of the waist here, so you're nice and extended through the upper body. Lower body is rooting you down. Exhale to release the arms, carefully stepping your left foot down. Turn so the right side of your body faces the chair so that we can do the side leg variation of this pose. I had to move my chair over just so I'm not turned, so you're not just seeing the back of me. All right, shift the weight into your left foot. Come up on those right toes. Let's open that right knee so the knee is pointing toward the chair seat. From here, you're going to lift the right heel up onto the chair. Make sure your right toes, your right shin, your right knee, your right thigh are all pointing up to the ceiling. You want to be rotating open through that right hip. Hips are still nice and balanced here. Standing tall. Belly's in, shoulders back. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Breathe. Adding a side stretch here, a side bend. Taking the right hand down to the right shin and tipping over like you want to reach for those right toes with that left hand. Try to keep your chest nice and open, your shoulders nice and open. So don't let your chest fall toward the leg. We want to keep this as side stretch. Inhale to come all the way up. Carefully step that right foot down. Turn so the left side of your body faces the chair. Weight comes into the right foot. Left knee opens to face the chair seat. Heel stretches up onto the chair. Standing tall. Hips are level. Inhale. Breathe. Smile. I notice when I watch videos of myself doing yoga that I'm not smiling very much focused yoga face. As you exhale, coming into that side stretch. Left hand down to the left leg, right arm reaching, stretching. Inhale to come up. Carefully step that left foot down and pause. We move into tree pose. So if you'd like, you can have your chair nearby for some extra balance help. Otherwise, just standing anywhere on your mat in Tadasana, mountain pose. Pause here for a moment. Bring your hands to your hips as a reminder to keep the hips nice and balanced. Shift the weight into your left foot, come up on your right toes, open your right knee out to the side. Now you can stay here with the toes on the floor. You can slide that foot a little higher into the calf or catch the ankle for the inner thigh. Your choice. I'm going with calf today. I think that's what makes me happiest. Find your gaze soft on the floor in front of you. So known as your drishti in yoga. Going to focus, soft focus. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Root down through the legs, rise up through the upper body. Exhale, release arms and foot. Pause. Other side. Hands come back onto those hips, shifting up into those left toes, up onto those left toes, open the left knee, and deciding where to take your tree pose on this side. Holy moly, my tree pose balance is not great today. Finding that spot on the floor to hold your focus. Inhale to extend the arms. Exhale, release arms and foot. Pause. Okay, we're going to set up for triangle pose, and I'm going to suggest you use your chair for your triangle pose today, but if you don't want to, you can use blocks or you can just have your hand at your leg. But I'm going to suggest using the chair because this is sort of a precursor to our next balancing pose, which is a tricky one. So, taking your feet nice and wide apart, starting with both toes pointing straight ahead. Turn your right toes out toward the chair. As you inhale, extend the arms. As you exhale, legs stay straight. We're moving from the hips. As you side bend, take the right hand to the chair seat and stretch that left arm up. So if you want, you can have the block there. If not, you're going to be a little bit higher up in your triangle pose today. That's okay. You should still be able to get a stretch through the legs because as you move through the hips, the rib cage sort of releases down. You can see my ribs aren't way up here. They're nice and soft. My spine is long. I can still feel this in my legs. Not quite as deep, but breathe here. Inhale to come all the way up. Have you guessed what our next challenging balance pose will be? Time will tell if you got it right. We're going to move to the other side, so you can either move your chair or just adjust your body. Chair is now in front of the left foot. And turn those left toes out. Make sure the back foot is parallel with the short edge of your mat. Inhale, extend the arms. Exhale, side bend. Left hand to the chair, right hand up. Chest is open. Inhale to come all the way up. Release the arms. Step those feet in together. Pause for a breath. All right. So my recommendation is to just pause. Well, you guys don't have to pause the video, but just pause for a second just to watch the setup for our Ardha Chandrasana half moon pose, and then I'll do it again and we'll all do it together just because it is a more challenging pose. And when we do this in a class, I usually set you guys up with a chair and a wall. You might not have a wall, so I just want to make sure you guys stay safe when you come into this balancing pose. So quick demonstration, just like when we're in class in person. You're going to set up just like you did for your triangle pose with the right toes facing the chair seat. You want to make sure your heels are lined up. You're going to bend into your right knee, and we're going to take that right hand down onto your chair seat. Again, we want the hand, the knee, the foot all to line up. You don't want your hand forward and your foot back. Now, I like to use my left hand for just a little stability as I launch into the pose. So I've started with the bent right knee. So I can launch. I'm a little close to my chair. So I can launch. And then this is the tricky part. Lifting up that left arm. Stacking those two shoulders, one on top of the other. Trying to get that leg out at hip height. My back leg, the toes are pointing toward the computer, so the knee is facing forward. And then we're going to breathe here. My standing leg is straight. Okay, so that's where we're moving into. Let's set up all together. If you just did that with me, then you get to do two like me. Starting on that right side. So right foot is facing the chair seat. Left leg is back. Make sure you're not too close to the chair like I was to start. You want to be about a foot away. You're going to bend into your right knee a little. Your launching leg. Take your right hand. onto your chair seat. Make sure your hand is in line with your foot and your knee. Maybe left hand there for a bit of support to start. As you spring up, lifting your back leg, your left leg up. Toes are pointing forward. Now let's slowly start to lift that left arm. Here's the tricky part. Stacking those shoulders. Left arm reaches straight up to the sky. Left leg is stretching actively. You want to keep that leg working hard. That's going to help with your balance. Let's take one more breath here. Bend your standing leg. Step your back foot down. Ta-da! I hope you did it. I hope it was fantastic. Let's do the other side. All right. I'm going to have to do two on this side. I won't make you guys do two. All right. Left foot toward the chair seat. Legs wide apart. Heels lined up. Bend into your left knee. Left hand finds the chair seat. We're springing. We're lifting that right foot up. Stacking these shoulders eventually. Take a peek. Make sure your left toes are pointing at the chair. Right leg is stretching back. Chest is open. Hips are working. One more breath. Good job. Exhale. Bend your standing leg. Step that foot down. Give those hips a little wiggle. Shake it out. And how are we feeling? We're making our way back down to the floor now to stretch it out, cool it down. We're going to make our way there through Shavasana, or wishful thinking Shavasana already. Downward dog and then child's pose, or you can just come right into child's pose, your choice. So if you're coming through downward dog first, let's get those hands shoulder width apart, feet walk back hip distance, and stretch it all out. And then everybody meeting in child's pose, taking the knees down, knees come wide, toes touch together. Sit back onto those heels and fold forward. Inhale to slowly come on up. Untuck those legs. Let's come down to lie on our back. Knees bent, feet on the floor. We've got thread the needle, reclining butterfly, and happy baby. That's going to be the end. So 3 more to go. Stretching out those legs and hips just a little bit more. So having those knees bent, feet on the floor, pause here. Thread the needle, lifting that right foot, outer ankle to the top of the thigh, open that knee. You can stay right here if that's enough of a stretch, or hug those legs in, hands or belt behind, behind the left thigh. Exhale to release, uncross that right leg, switch sides. Hug those legs in if you'd like. Hands or belts behind the right thigh. Exhale to release. Coming into your reclining butterfly. Sliding the bottoms of your feet together, bringing those heels nice and close in toward the body. If you'd like, if you have blocks or pillows nearby, you can slide them under the outer thighs if that's comfortable. And just breathe here. Starting to move into that relaxation mode. Bring the knees together, hug the knees in toward the belly, but take the knees wider apart. Getting ready for a happy baby. So those of you who would like using the belt for your happy baby, placing the belt around the soles of the feet, holding the belt as you bring the feet up. Otherwise, you can hold the hands at the back of the thighs to start, bringing the feet up toward the ceiling, keeping a bend in the knees. You might be able to reach up for the calves or the ankles or all the way up for the feet. Softening through those hips, keeping the entire back body on the floor, lengthening through the tailbone. Maybe finding a little rock and roll here. And then knees can hug in together. Again, maybe a rock and roll, circling the knees, massaging the back. And then letting the legs stretch out on the floor to find your Shavasana. Or we have our chairs. Maybe I'll do a chair Shavasana today if you'd like to do that as well. You just place the calves onto the chair seat. If that makes you happy. Arms relax beside you. Letting the body completely rest, be completely relaxed. So noticing where your mind is. If it's left the present moment, bring it back into the space. Start to wiggle the fingers and toes. Step the feet off of the chair, seat if the legs were elevated. Making your way onto your right side, using your arm as a pillow if you'd like. And then pressing yourself all the way up into a seated position. Thank you for practicing with me this morning. I really hope you enjoyed the class. As always, you can let me know if you have any questions or comments by sending me an email. And don't forget about the Zumba class tomorrow. If you're interested, you can always message me if you have any questions on how to get registered for that. Namaste. I hope you guys have a really great week or weekend, I guess. The rest of the week, it's Thursday, so weekend. Yeah, so if I don't see you on the Zumba and yoga class tomorrow, then hopefully I'll see you next Thursday, or you'll see me next Thursday, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, have a great rest of the day. Stay safe and healthy. Enjoy the sunshine. Take care.